Hello there, I'm the Biblical Translator, and so called because I not necessarily translate the Bible, because the Bible is obviously in English, but what I do is I translate the scriptures in a way that I can understand it, and hopefully I can reach out to my subscribers so that they can get a different feel or a different perspective on different ways of interpreting the Bible. Today's scripture is taken from Romans 9, and it is verse, I'm going to have to put my glasses on. And it is verse 8. This means that Abraham's physical descendants are not necessarily children of God. Only the children of the promise are considered to be Abraham's children. And who are the children of the promise? The children of the promise are those who were born again in faith through Jesus Christ. So we're talking about those who are who have faith in Jesus and the grace of Jesus, because he died for them and that their sins are all washed away. So if you are the child of the promise, what should you fear? We have so many people who say that they're children of God, they have faith in God, they worship God, they read the Bible, they quote God, they can quote the scriptures back to front, but they are so fearful. And when you're fearful, it means you're being run by the enemy, you're being governed by the enemy. When you're afraid of everything that is going on outside your control, you are being governed by the enemy. All you need to do is put God in the steering wheel. Ask him to direct you and guide you. Let him be your navigator. And then you don't fear anything because you're operating in your life on faith. And if we don't operate on faith, what does that mean? It means that every little thing you're going to be afraid of. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. It's going to make you feel upset, angry, disillusioned, because you do not see the light at the end of the tunnel. You cannot believe in the love of God. You cannot believe in his grace because you feel as though you're undeserving. Many people who have pasts that are a bit subject can feel as though they're undeserving all the way into adulthood. Some people, because they haven't forgiven themselves for their past misdemeanors, they still judge themselves. They still feel as though they are not worthy. They're not worthy of God's love. And despite praising him and saying God will do this for them and God will protect them, deep down they don't believe it. Deep down they don't think that they deserve it. And these people are failing themselves and they're failing God, and they are not the children of the promise. The children of the promise have faith that Jesus will deliver, that God will deliver on his word. So you cannot, catastrophize and become a victim or, create stories in your mind that are upsetting. If you create stories that bring you joy and peace and happiness, that is what you will receive. But if you condemn yourself to stories of unhappiness, grief, betrayal, then that is what you're going to receive. You have the free will to choose what it is you want, what type of life you want to live, who you want to live it with. And that will be based on you, your behavior, setting an example. If you're a true child of God, you will set a good example and you will reap the fruits of your labor. But if you do not, I'm sorry, but the Bible is quite clear. Only children of the promise are counted. Children of the promise are, when you're born again, it's not just about being an adult. and having an adult baptism. Anybody can do that. It's about having a change of mind, having a change of your role in life, changing up what you believe, what you think you can do from what you can't do. It's about reevaluating your life. It's about looking how you can improve and be a better person. Every single day you should be waking up and thinking, what can I do today better than yesterday? How can I love better than I did yesterday? How can I show love, show gratitude, show appreciation for life, for health, for strength? How can I do that? How can I show appreciation to God for his gifts, for bringing people in our lives? And sometimes we have people in our lives that can be quite challenging, but they're still there to teach you a lesson. And you can either learn the lesson, or you can waste your time and not learn anything at all. I think the important thing in being a child of God or a child of the promise is that you have faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your abilities, faith in who God has put into your life. And regardless of your circumstances, believe that you are doing your best. So a lot of people are going through challenging circumstances at the moment, and they've given up. And if you've given up, it just means that you are not you're not a child of faith. Because a child of faith can believe, a child of faith will be able to provide. A child of faith will be able to love unconditionally. In faith. A child of God isn't going to bring up horror stories or believe bad things are going to happen. Always protecting yourself, always self-protecting. You cannot do anything of self. You need to have faith and then be determined. Whatever it is you want, to go for it. And put your full 100% effort. Nothing in this life is free. Some people, when they get things free or when they get things easy, they can be so generous. But when they have to work for it, they can be so mean. And you'll find that in a lot of life. You see a lot of these celebrities, when they have money, they're generous, they've got money flinging all over the place. You can see them in the videos, or even if you get to witness it in real life, they're so lavish. Oh, buy the whole restaurant, some food, do this, do that. And I'm not saying they got it easy, but to a degree they did get it easy because their wealth, a lot of the time, if they haven't had to compromise their morals, is based on their talent, their natural talent. And so some people, because they have wealth, or all of a sudden they've been given a lot of money, they can be so generous with it. People think, oh yeah, he's really generous. He gave me 1,000, he gave me 2,000, he gave me 500. I just had to ask him something and he gave me £3,000. And it's because they got that money easy. They didn't have to work for it. But you ask that same person who has had to slave on a construction site to be that generous. He's going to value money, and they might think he's mean, but he knows the value of what he's worked for. And he will still be generous in his own way, but it'll be a different generosity from those people who have it and just give it away willy-nilly. And you can tell whether people are generous, because when they've had to work hard and they don't have much and they're still willing to give, that is generosity of spirit. That is love. But there's a lot of people who want to make money easy and then pretend that they're generous people when they're not. And they are not children of faith. They're not the chosen. They're not the children of the promise. So all I'm saying is change your spirit, change your attitude, become one of love, become one of sincere generosity. Give of yourself, not seeking anything in return, and you'll be blessed. and you will be a true